First, let's talk about costs, and I'm not talking about how much money you spend. You got a spouse for that. I'm talking about spending the same amount of money, but just how you're going to spend that money. So instead of putting down the 25% premium to get a cab on top of a regular tractor, why not take that money and buy other stuff like implements, or maybe even a bigger tractor with more horsepower? Because after all, those things do work. Next is weight. I'm one of the biggest proponents of a heavy tractor, but when it comes to adding a cab onto a tractor, I may back off on that opinion a little bit because the height raises the center of gravity. So if you live in a slopey area, that may make things just a little bit more precarious. And speaking of height, I was kind of surprised when I did my research for the video that in some series of tractors, the cab versions are actually shorter than the ones that are the platform tractors. However, that dimension is with the rollover protection system in the up position. Once it's down, that advantage is gone, and you can get that tractor that doesn't have the cab into much tighter spaces, and it may help you get into a garage opening that you wouldn't be able to get into with a cab tractor. Next is maneuverability. I have a lot of woods that I work in on my property, so I rely on being able to get my tractor into some very tight areas of the woods so I can do the kind of logging that I want to be able to do. And I wouldn't be able to do that nearly as effectively with a cab tractor. Next, let's look at horsepower. If you're looking to buy a smaller tractor, that could be significant. In the fact that the one tractor that I looked at without the cab, the PTO horsepower is 21.5 horsepower. And with the cab, it's 18.6 PTO horsepower. Obviously, you lose horsepower with the air conditioning system in place. And then let's talk about maintenance. Anytime you add anything more onto a piece of equipment, it's one more thing that can go wrong.